Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. So continuing on with our best of classic Sudoku series, today is again a classic Sudoku and this Sudoku has been created by Matteo. So yesterday on the channel we had a classic Sudoku which had 38 given clues and where we saw a beautiful solve path in the Sudoku. Now if you look at this classic Sudoku, this has exactly half the number of givens of the Sudoku that we saw yesterday. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus 1. So 19 given clues. So half the number of clues that we saw yesterday, right? And a bit more background about this Sudoku. This Sudoku was originally posted 2 days back on the channel and we had to take it down immediately because there was Windows noise in the background continuously and it was too distracting to have the video. So we took it down and making a video on it again today. So hope you guys enjoy this video by me. This Sudoku is created by Matteo. And let us start solving the Sudoku. Seems to be a very interesting one. So, and if you want to try the Sudoku out yourself, please play it out from the online solving link given in the description of the video. The rules are simple. Each row, each column and each 3x3 box will have digits from 1 to 9 without any repetitions. So let us start the Sudoku. Column 1 and row 1 have a 2, so the 2 goes here. And because this Sudoku is symmetric, so I am expecting something of the same sort here. So 3 in row 9 and 3 in column 9 gives a 3 here. And 4 cannot be in these in last column, so 4 has to go in this cell. So you can see that clearly the action is concentrated around this box because these are the only areas where you have a lot of givens. So you have 8 here, so which means that 8 must be in one of these cells and 9 must go in one of these cells, all standard classic. So 5 must be in one of these cells. And 6 is in column 3, 6 is in row 6, that gives us 6 here. And 2 is in column 7, 2 is in row 4, gives a 2 here. And which means I can mark the 7 in one of these cells and a 9 in one of these cells. 4 is in row 5 and row 6, that gives a 4 here. And which means that 3 must go in one of these cells because 3 can't be here. So these cells now become 2, 4, 9, 3, 5, 6 are ruled out. So these would be 1, 7 and 8. And let me look at box 8. 9 is in column 4, 9 is in row 7. That gives a 9 here. And 1 can be marked in one of these cells, classic. So 4 is in these two cells, that gives a 4 here. And that gives a 3 here because 3 is in column 6 and row 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 9. Remaining digits are 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 can't be in row 3, 8 cannot be in column 5. So 8 must be in one of these cells, which means that the remaining digits are 5, 6 and 7 and we can pencil mark them. Okay, 6 can be eliminated immediately. You have a 6 here. 2 is in row 1, 2 is in row 2, column 8 and column 9. So you get one more 2. Let me look at the 2's now. So 2 must be in one of these cells. And 2 must be in one of these cells. Okay, 9 in row 7, row 8, column 1 and column 2. That gives a 9 here, which immediately resolves this 2. The 2 we have marked. So this both would be 2's. And 7 here means that 7 must go in one of these cells. Three, 4, 6, 2 and 9. So remaining candidates are 1, 5, 7 and 8, right? Okay. Okay, there are 3 possibilities only here. So let me write that. So this must be a 1, 5, 7. And let me look at this box. 2, 3, 8, 4 and 9. So remaining digits 1, 5, 6 and 7. So this can't be 1 or a 7. So this has to be 5 and 6. And this would be 5, 6 and 7. So we'll look at row 3, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 8. So remaining digits must be 1, 5, 7, 9. So you have a 7 and 9 here. So this would be 1 and 5. And this would be 1, 5, 7. So we can see that in row 3, all these cells can't take a 9 because 9 was here. and this cell is also not a 9, so which means that this is a 9 and 9 must go here now, classic. So 2 3 6 8 9, and this cell cannot be 5, so both of these cells would be 1 4 and 7, and I have a 1 here, so this is not a 1, so this is a 4 and a 7. This is these kind of classics are very tough to create, guys. Yesterday we had a classic with 38 given clues and which had a very particular solve path, and similarly, just to ensure that a Sudoku has unique solution with the 19 clues is alone remarkable. A really excellent construction. Both of these cells would be 1 3 7 8. I have an 8 here, so this is 1 3 and 7, and all these three cells would be 1 5 8 and 9, right? 2 3 4 and 6 and 7 are ruled out, so 1 5 8 and 9, and 9 can't go here, so this is 1 5 8. Okay, so I have a quadruple, guys, so that's interesting. So this would be 1 5 8 9. So if you look at this column 7, so 1 5 8 and 9 are locked in these 4 cells, so which means that I have a quadruple, and the rest of the digits in that direction must be 3 4 and 6, right? So 3 can't go here and 3 cannot go here, so 3 has to go here, and I get a 4 6 pair now. So far the solve path has been so pleasing, so much fun to solve, and I'm still amazed how Matteo managed to create this classic with just 19 clues. 19 clues is really difficult to create. So these two cells must be 1 5, right? So 1 or 5 has to go into these cells, so which means that this will be 1 5 7 and this would be a 1 5 7. Let me remove the corner pencil mark, right? Do we need that? Okay, let it be there. Maybe it will help us in removing some candidates from here. So I'm going to look at column 5 now. 2 3 4 8 and 9, and there is a 7 here, so which means that this cell must be 1 5 and 6, right? It must be a 1 5 and 6, and this must be a 1 5 and 7 because 6 is here, so this must be 1 5 7, and both of these cells can be 1 5 6 and 7. Okay, for the box, but we know that 5 and 6 is here, so which means that 1 and 7 must go into these cells. Is that helping us in any way? 1 and 7 cannot go here, so let us try to look at this cell. It can't be 3 4 6 2 and 9 and 1 and 7, because 1 and 7 I'll just make a corner pencil mark, right? 7 is also in these three cells, so this cell can't be 3 4 6 2 9 and 1 and 7, so it has to be 5 and 8. So the middle portion of the classic seems to be that we have to make a lot of pencil marks. There doesn't seem to be any digits unless it is some class digit which is hidden very well, like a single, maybe a hidden single. So if I look at column 2, 2 6 8 9 3 4 and 7, which means that this digit must be 1 and 5. Okay, so 2 4 9 3 and 7, 1 5 6 and 8, so this is a 5, so which means that this has to be 1 6 and 8. Okay, let me look at column 4, 1 2 4 9, so 3 5 6 7 8. I have 3 5 and 6 here, so which means that this would be a 7 and 8, and I can remove the 5 from here because of the 5 here. Okay, if I look at this cell, it can't contain a 3 or an 8, and it can't contain 2 4 7 and 9, so which means that this would be 1 5 and 6. Wow, superb, guys. The moment I made this pencil mark, look how these hidden kind of markings are really helping the solve. So we had a quadruple here earlier in the solve. Now if you look at row 4, 2 4 9 and 7 must be in this cell, so this cell must be 1 5 and 6, and now row 4 column 5 6 and row 4 column 8 and 9 have a quadruple 1 5 6 and 7. Superb, right? Really difficult to see these kind of steps, so which means that this cell would be 8 and this cell has to be a 3, and 6 must go in one of these cells now, because this is a quadruple and 6 must be here. And I also know that in box 2, 6 must be in one of these 4 cells. So for column 4, 6 can't be anywhere here except these 2 cells, right? So which means that I can remove the 6 from here. So 4, 6, 9, 2, 3, 8. So both of these cells has to have 1, 5 and 7 center pencil mark. Okay, so if I look at column 6 carefully, 2 and 9 is removed from all these 3 cells, and 2, 9 is also removed from these 3 cells, and 2, 9 is also removed from here. So this 2 cells would have to take 2, 9 and we form a pair, and that gets resolved immediately. So this is a 9, this is a 2, and that gives a 9 here, classic. So this is not a 9, this is 1 and 8, but I have an 8 here. So this is 1, which means both of these cells must be 5, 7, and both of these cells must be 1 and 6, and also the 6 I'll remove. So which means that I can remove the 1 from here, and this would be a 5, 7 and 8. So seems to be tough at this point. Now you have a 4, 6 pair here, which means that 4 and 6 must be in one of these cells. That seems to be a point of interest. So I have a lot of cells which have 2 pencil marks, and I might have to focus on them. So if I look at this cell, it cannot be 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. So it has to be 1, 5, 6 and 7, right? So I might as well write some digits now, because I had a quadruple in this Sudoku, so there may be some quadruples hidden. Okay, I have 1 and 5 coming from this place, right? So we saw that earlier, so I'll make a corner pencil mark. So which means this also, okay, 5 must be in one of these cells and 1 must be in one of these cells. So which means that this cell cannot be 1 and 5 or a 4. So 1, 2, 9, 3, 4. So 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, again 4 candidates. Okay, so 1, 5. And this cell is also not 1, 5. So we can, because of this 1, 5 here, we can remove the 1, 5. This becomes 6 and 7. And which means that in column 9, if I look carefully, 2, 3, 4 and 9, right? So 5, 6 and 7, which means 1 and 8 must be in these 3 cells. But 8 is already marked into these 2 cells, so 1 and 8 go here, which means this cell can't be 2, 3, 7 and 9 and 1 and 8. So this would be 4, 5 and 6. A bit of a box reduction there. Okay, so 1 and 7 are hidden here, and 2 and 9 you have, which means that these 2 cells must be 3, 4, 5, 6 and 8, and I have a 6, 8 here, so this must be a 3, 4 and a 5. Okay, I have 4 hidden here, 2, 3, 8, 9, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, so which means both of these cells will be 1, 5, 6 and 7. So 5 is here, so this is 1, 6 and 7, and this 6 gives me a 1, 5 and 7. Okay. Okay, so I found the logic that might be interesting to us, guys. So at this point in the grid, we have something hidden. So if you want to find that logic yourself, that logic is vibing. So if you want to find that yourself, please pause the video here. I will pause myself for 5 seconds and I will continue. Okay, so we have a vibing beautifully hidden here. So if you look at these cells, I'll highlight those cells. So these cells form a vibing pattern, right? So this cell is the hinge candidate, and the ends of the cells, the 2 cells seen by the hinge cell, or the wing candidates. So when you have such a pattern, so vibing can be distributed across even 4 boxes. In some cases, I have seen vibing spread across 4 boxes, but usually they will be confined to 2 boxes. So when you have such a pattern, digits of the form AB, BC, and AC, or AB, AC and BC. So A is 4 here, B is C here, and sorry, A is 4 here, B is 7 here, A is 4, C is 6, and this is C is 6 and B is 7. So when you have such a pattern, you can eliminate the candidate which is common between the wing cells. So these two cells are the wing cell, this is the hinge cell, right? It is the acting like a hinge. So you can eliminate the common candidate between cells which see all these two cells. So which means that this cell and these two cells can't take a 7, because the common candidate between row 2 column 1 and row 1 column 9 is a 7. So if I have 7 in any of the yellow cells, what happens is, let us try, let us think that one of these cells is a 7, doesn't matter which cell. Let me put a 7 here, maybe here. So what happens is, this becomes 4, this becomes 6, and now this cell can't take a 6, can't take a 7. So which means that none of the red cells can take a 7. A beautiful logic. Y-wings are so much fun when you find them, and even this cell also can't take a 7 using the same idea. So if this is a 7, because it's common to both of these cells, or rather this cell is seeing both of these cells, if I have a 7 here, this becomes 6, this becomes 4, and now 4 and 7, remove the 4 and 7 from this cell. So which means that the red cells can't take a 7, right? So this is the Y-wing logic. So I remove 7 from here, which means in box 1 I have only one cell left for the 7. So I can place that. So this becomes 7. This is a 7, which means that these cells become 1, 4 and 5. And I quickly eliminate the candidates. So this is not a 7, this is 5 and 6. And 7 is pushed into this cell now. This is a 7 and there is no 7 here. Okay, 2, 3, 9 and 1, 4 and 5. So which means that the remaining candidates in row 1 must be 6, 7 and 8. And this also must be a 6, 7 and 8. So 8 is in one of these cells. So 1, 2, 3, 7 and 9. So this cell must be 4, 5 and 8, right? Because 6 is here. So this must be a 4, 5 and 8. -17 minutes. The video has gone for 17 minutes. I have a 7 here, so which means this cell is not a 7. So 7 must be in one of these cells. Okay. So for what it's worth, let me mark a corner pencil mark here. Wow, superb guys. So we have at this point again a beautiful Y-wing in the grid. So at the start of the Sudoku we had very few clues, and we used the clues to our advantage, got a few digits going, and you can see that the middle of the grid is just propelling by itself. The clues given in the start is propelling the middle of the solve amazingly well. So at this point, I request you guys to maybe take a pause on the video and find the next Y-wing hidden in the Sudoku. This is a little bit more difficult. So I'll pause myself for a few seconds. Okay, so now the Y-wing is hidden between rows 8 and 9. Earlier it was between rows 1 and 2. Now you'll see that the Y-wing is hidden in rows 8 and 9. So if I look at these cells, these form a Y-wing pattern. This is the hinge candidate and these two cells are the wing cells, and there is exactly one cell common between these wing cells and the digits of the pattern AB, BC and AC. So it can be of any order. It can be AC, BC, AC, nothing. But you need to have preferably bi-value candidates. Actually you need to have exactly bi-value candidates to get some elimination. So and you'll see that here you have exactly bi-value candidates in 3 cells, meaning 2 possible values in 3 cells. And now when I have this way, so all the red cells common to both of these cells I can eliminate. So which means none of these cells can take a 6, but all these cells have been filled already, and this cell is also common between this cell and this cell is also common between these cells. So which means that the red cells can't take a 6, because if that is a 6, you will quickly see that when I place a 6 here, this becomes 1, this becomes 5, and I can't have anything here. Superb, right? So this is not a 6. I can eliminate the 6 from here. Let me see if that is helping me. So this becomes 1, 8 now, and I have a 1, 5, 8 triplet. Superb, it's helping guys. Hopefully this is the final nail in the Sudoku and we complete the Sudoku now. So 1, 5 and 8. So which means that this is a 6 and which means this is a 4, this is a 5. I think this is well and truly the break-in, guys. So this becomes 1 now for the row and 1, 3, 5, 9, 2, 4, 7. So which means you have a 6, 8 pair and that gives us 7 here and that gives us 7 in row 3, which means this is a 1, 5 pair and this is not a 5 and this is not a 7. So 4, 6, 8 triplet. I can resolve the 5, 7 pair now. So this is a 7, this is a 5 and 1, 5, 8, 2, 6, 7, 9. So these two cells must be 3, 4. Oops. These two cells must be a 3 and a 4. Can I resolve that? Not it. So 1 is removed from here because of the 1 here. Is there more twist in the tail? So I have a 7 here, so which means this is not a 7 and this cell must be a 5, 6 and 8 for the box and 7 is removed from here. That gives my 7. No, 7 is still in one of these cells. I am actually spotting one more vibing, 5, 6, 1, 5, 1, 6, but I don't think I can make an elimination anywhere because 6 is common between these cells and 6 is already not possible here. So this vibing is kind of useless, but just good to see that. Okay, this cell is a 1, 3 or 8, right? Because 2, 4, 6, 9 and 5 and 7. So this is 1, 3 and 8. So I have a 6, 8 pair here. So 1 and 8. Okay, 5 must be in these cells. 1 and 7 is in these cells. Okay, come on. I missed a simple thing, guys. There is a 1 here. A moment of Sudoku blindness. So you have, which means that this would be 1, this would be 5. But that is not continuing the Sudoku. And this 4 gives a 6 here, right? So which means this is 8, this is 4, and that 8 gives a 6 here, a 5 here, an 8 here, and that in turn quickly resolves the 6, 1 pair. And which means that this would be 5 for the column, this would be a 7 because 5 is here. So this is 7, this is 1, and this 7 gives an 8, gives a 5, this 7 gives a 7, and these two cells can't. This is not a 7 now, 1, 3, 8. Okay, so 5 gives a 6 here and a 7 here, and that 6 is going to finish the last two rows. So 6 and 8, that gives a 1 and 5, an 8 here, a 1 here, a 5 here, and this one gives a 3, which in turn resolves this 3, 4 pair, and that in turn resolves this 1, 4 pair at the top row. So, and which means this is 8, the only possible cell left here. And with that, we have completed this gorgeous construction by Matteo. Simply one of the best classic Sudokus that I have come across. So this is the third classic Sudoku in the series. Tomorrow we'll have one more video, so stay tuned for that. And that is also going to be best classic Sudoku. We are making these classic Sudokus as many of you guys wanted to see some classic Sudokus on the channel. So stay tuned for tomorrow's video and hope you enjoyed today's video. Please do share it around and like and comment under the video. So see you guys. Take care. Bye bye.